Hi everyone, it's Sherry Miller here again today on day 3. And boy, today is my experimental day. Andrew keeps saying to play and have fun and experiment and learn. So I'm going to try something I've never tried before. I'm going to try and capture something with my horse on the phone, and I have no idea if this will work. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I don't know if we'll go out of frame. I just don't know. Anyway, I'm going to give it a try. And so today I wanted to talk about something that I call the forces we feel. And this totally pertains to the beautiful work that teachers do. It pertains to all of life, but I love aiming my stuff at teachers because I love them so much and the work that they do. And the forces that we feel is a basic energetic concept that if you ever work with me, you will come to understand very well, because it's how all living things operate. It's how they interact with each other and, with the environment. So I actually do like a 45-minute introductory training, just tip of the iceberg kind of training, which I'm not going to do right now. So I'm going to see how much of this concept I can get across in like 5 minutes. And first, what I want to do is try and demonstrate it with my horse. We're not doing any fancy dancing or anything. I don't have any space for that even. But I just want to demonstrate a couple little things to get a picture in your head of what's going on so that when I talk about it, it makes a little more sense. And I'm going to see what I can do here. We have a tiny area. We're actually blocked in from a blizzard last week, created ginormous snowdrifts. I seriously have a picture of a snowdrift taller than my car on the road that I drive to work in, and the ones on my farm are only 3 to 4 feet only. And but there's one I don't have access to with equipment, and my animals are locked down in this tiny little area unless I shovel through that snowdrift. So anyway, I don't have a lot of space. I'm just going to try and show a couple little things. All right, now that you can tell I'm nervous because I'm blabbering on about this, I'm just going to go do it, okay? I'll be back. Don't leave. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay. You ready, Zoe? Okay, I'm not really showing you anything. A tiny little bit. I don't even know if you could see it if we were off screen. I really hope we were on screen because there was a tiny little bit there. This is interesting for me energetically, because to just talk to you, like have my focus on you and not on my horse, and then turn around and say, horse, let's go. It's like we're not really connecting, so that's good for me to know. But a little bit there. And anyway, I have no idea what you saw, but what I was hoping to show you is her coming towards me or stopping or even moving away. And it's based on my body language and my energy. And these are, I don't trick train. I don't like sit, here's a treat, trot, here's a treat. There's no trick training. I'm purely using my energy to dance with her. And I'm using the forces we feel and something called mirroring as well, which I hope to talk about in one of these lives. Not sure how to pull that one off yet, but anyway, we move forward in life or in our challenges or anything based on forces that we feel, regardless of whether or not we're consciously noticing it or the story that we give it or whatever. There are subconscious things, there are subconscious forces that we feel that cause us to feel drive or not drive towards or away from challenges, from life, from anything, from a chair, from another human being, from a challenge. They're all the same thing. So we feel whether or not we can incorporate a stimulus. A stimulus would be anything that we encounter. Another person, a chair, a horse, a challenge, anything that we encounter. We feel whether or not we can incorporate it into our movement. And if so, we go towards it. And if not, we will go around it or go away from it or freeze. So there's another 45 minutes behind that simple explanation, but hopefully that at least triggers some ideas in your head. This is really important for teachers because as the teacher, you need to understand the forces you feel because this affects whether or not you're willing and able to engage your students' stress. And in order for your student to grow, they must go through stress because growth is extending your personal development perimeter, and that only happens at the edge, at the place where you go, I'm not sure, I don't know if I can. So growth has to involve stress. So the teacher has to be able to encounter the student's stress and maintain their balance and stay grounded in order to move forward with that student through their stress. Plus, if the teacher understands these concepts consciously, they can do a lot more with it because their student is going through the same thing. They're encountering a force in their life that they have to be able to incorporate into their movement of life. And understanding this helps you a ton to, once you get your own grounding, to help your student to go there. And the force that you end up feeling that gives you drive towards or away from, or no drive or stuckness, is an equation. And there's actually physics behind all of this. I probably won't ever get into that into these short little lives, but this is totally supported in physics in something called the constructal law. Adrian Bijan, you can look him up. He's fantastic work. But anyway, there's an equation, and this is just my thing. This is not Adrian's. I'm taking his work and applying it to the exchange of energy between beings, the teacher and students, or just two beings. And I would say there's an equation behind that, and it's got 3 components. I can tell you what they are quickly, but they won't have a lot of meaning without an explanation, and my phone is probably in danger of dying because the battery doesn't last long in the cold. But anyway, if it stays on, the 3 components of the force that you end up feeling is your relative grounding and suppleness. So that's your own grounding and suppleness, your ability to maintain motion and not stiffness. So your grounding and suppleness in relation to whatever it is that you're encountering. So it's the relative grounding and suppleness. The emotional relevance of what's going on has a huge impact in that equation, and the stakes. Stakes are, is it life and death? Is it meh? Is it, just a little thing? So stakes and emotional relevance can be tied together, but they're not exactly the same thing. So relative grounding and suppleness, emotional relevance, and stakes, those combine to create the answer to, am I going to take action or not? And it's not just what you think, it's what you feel, whether or not we take action. So all this mind training that we're getting is fantastic, but if you don't, once again, tie it to the body, to the senses, to the sensations, to the sense of self in relation to other, you're still going to struggle. And your students will struggle, and as a teacher, you will not be as powerful. So that's my little spiel for today. Um, you know, if you want to know more, I'm not sure if anybody here wants to know all this kind of stuff or not, but if you have particular questions or want to know more, just let me know in the comments below. I could talk, you know, forever about this stuff. I love it, but I'm not always sure when I'm making sense and when I'm not making sense, and I'm not sure what people are interested in and what they're not interested in. So I'd actually love the feedback, and just let me know, and we can continue this conversation in the future. Thank you.